Myles Garrett just signed a contract with the Cleveland Browns, a big giant extension. Sean, I think I saw it was for like 100-something guaranteed. Myles Garrett requested a trade. And I think in the NFL, it's important to make this distinction. In the NBA, I think you can demand a trade. In the NFL, all you can really do is act nice. You can kindly say, hey, guys, I think you ought to trade me. And if they already want to trade you, they'll go ahead and do it. In the NBA, they're more likely to trade you just because you yourself wish to be traded. It's a whole different world. Myles Garrett asked for that trade, and the Browns wasn't even taking people's phone calls. They was telling everybody, we're not even going to do this, okay? Myles Garrett asked to meet with the owner, and the owner told him, go talk to the general manager. Not too long after that, Myles Garrett signed this giant contract. Sean, we got something on that?
Yeah, the full contract is a 4-year agreement worth $160 million with an average of $140. The contract includes $123.5 million in guaranteed money, but it also has a no-trade clause ensuring Garrett remains with the Browns through the 2030 season.
But he can still waive it if he so chooses.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Like,
Yes.
All right.
Still funny that it's there after everything that's gone on.
Yes. I don't want to play for these losers. All of this stuff. And then he locked in and turned everything around. Why? Because there was no way that they were ever going to trade him. And you know why they were never going to trade him? Sean, can you look up on Perplexity the greatest Cleveland Browns of all time?
They go Jim Brown, Otto Graham, Joe Thomas, Lou Groza, Ozzie Newsome.
Okay. So I am inclined to believe that Myles Garrett is better than Ozzie Newsome and Joe Thomas, which is to say, I believe that Myles Garrett is the best Cleveland Brown since Jim Brown retired. Jim Brown retired so that they could film The Dirty Dozen. That's how long ago that was. Okay? That is when Jim Brown retired. Hell no. They were not going to trade him under any circumstance whatsoever. And all that talk he had about wanting to go somewhere to win, you wanted to go somewhere and win, but instead you stayed in Cleveland. You know why he stayed in Cleveland? Perplexity told you why he stayed in Cleveland. $123 million guaranteed. That's why he stayed in Cleveland. Because this is the thing that makes the NFL in some ways better than the NBA. When it comes to that paper, in the NBA, they can't money whip you like this. Right? In the NBA, there's a maximum salary that they can pay. And what has happened as a result of that in the NBA is cats will go places and take less money because they prefer the situation. Now, part of that is because they make more money, but of course, a significant part of that is they make easier money. I am not saying that playing in the NBA is easy. I am saying that in the NFL, there is no such thing as easy money. There is not a single player in the NFL that I will ever call overpaid. And you know why there's not a single player in the NFL that I will ever call overpaid? Because you couldn't pay me enough to play football. That's why. There's no dollar amount that you could throw out there and be like, hey, Bo, go hold the ball, go block. Hell no, I ain't doing none of that. You tell me somebody getting paid $150 million in the NFL sound like the right place to me, because I wouldn't play that shit for 151. What are you, high? Ain't no way in the world, right? So they money whipped Myles Garrett, and they gave him that $123 million. I bet you that boy Max Crosby thought he was the man. Max Crosby got that 3-year, $100-something million contract extension. It was like the highest for a non-quarterback, even though I didn't recall seeing anything about the guarantee structure, which tells me that it's not very likely that it looked the exact way it did. That Myles Garrett contract had more guaranteed money than the Max Crosby contract had altogether. Okay? And the biggest winner, Micah Parsons. Because all of a sudden, the market has been set. Do I think that Micah Parsons is a better player than Myles Garrett? I don't know. There are arguments in both directions. Is Micah Parsons 4 years younger than Myles Garrett? At the very least, he came into the draft 4 years later. Jared be waiting so long to pay these dudes, and it goes the exact same way. Like, this how you know Jerry's super rich, right? Like, the more money you get, you do stuff like buy plane tickets 3 days before. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh, man, it costs a little bit more money. And not just that you buy it 3 days before, you wait till 3 days before because you waiting for something else. You try to see something else, whatever it is, right? That's what you do when you got paper. And that's what Jerry do. Jerry stay buying these plane tickets on these dudes 45 minutes before the plane leave. He did this with Dak. He did this with CeeDee Lamb. And now he doing this with Micah Parsons. And it's going to cost him so much money. It is going to cost him so much money.
Bo, I got the highest non-quarterback contracts by average annual salary. Myles Garrett, 40. Like you said, Max Crosby, 35.5.
Yeah.
This is the non-guaranteed, though, that's great, is Myles at 122, Bosa at 122, Justin Jefferson at 110, CeeDee Lamb at $100 million, already guaranteed.
That's what I'm telling you, dog. That's what I'm telling you. Micah Parsons is about to be number one with a bullet. Like that's the direction that this is going to go for the Cowboys. What are y'all doing? I want to holler at the chat right fast. If a guy's is saying you're not feeling the AI tie-in, I understand where you're coming from, but I need you to understand something right now, fellas. It is the free agent season. Free agency started at noon Eastern time, the beginning of our show. Everything is fluid right now. We ain't got no breaking news team, so we are using the tools we got to let you know the information that we could provide you to make this free agency coverage as robust as possible to go along with the fact that, you see it up there in the corner. You dig? You feel me? You see? But no.
Also, for the record, we woke up and Twitter was down. So we're,
Yes, that was the next part. That was the next part I was going to make.
It's tough to work with this.
We got limited tools, but I do want to say this sincerely because I think you're making a fair point, especially given some of the things that I've said about the futuristic type of technology that we are using. We are only going to use this in ways that are helpful to the show. And for right now, these are things that are helpful to the show. These are things that ordinarily I would just tell Sean to go do it and he would come back and bring it. He just wouldn't tell you where it came from. But now this is where we going. But I don't want you guys to feel like I don't understand where it is that you're coming from. You're entitled to your preferences. I am also going to tell you to shut your ass up about it for right now, because today this is the explanation. This is what it's going to be. Have some faith in your boy. You dig? All right, we got this in that Adam Schefter reports that Justin Fields will not sign with the Steelers unless they commit to him being quarterback one. I think that is a fair point for Justin Fields to make. I need Justin Fields to understand this, though. Any team that commits to him being QB1 is not a team that I would want to play for, personally. Now, I know it's a little bit different if you're Justin Fields because you're trying to do what it takes to get you back to that place it is. That is fine. But any team that makes Justin Fields their starting quarterback, them boys going to do some losing. Y'all going to be out here doing some losing. That's what's going to happen. But Sean, I'm worried about this, though, with Myles Garrett. You brought this up where he wanted to go somewhere where he could win. I don't think that there's going to be winning that takes place for him with the Browns. And look, ain't nobody going to weep for you when you get your $123 million. He can't explain this any other way other than they gave me a boatload of money. You can't do that.
I was just going to say it's even funnier when the summary for why Myles Garrett wanted a trade request was his desire to win a Super Bowl. And then he's back with the Browns.
But I'm going to make this point. And I think I've maybe said this on this show before, but I say it in other times. And I think it's something that people need to understand, right? Nobody's going to weep for you for getting $100 million to do something, right? But if I offered you $123 million to let me kick you in the nuts, you'll take that money, right? I'll take that money. But you know what it's going to feel like after I kick you in the nuts? It's going to feel like you got kicked in the nuts. It's not going to feel like you got $123 million. It's going to feel like you got kicked in the nuts. So whatever he did not like about playing with the Cleveland Browns, all he's getting in return for that is $123 million, which is to say none of the other stuff is going to change. You're just getting $123 million. You're going to be miserable, and you're going to ask for another trade. And the next time, they're not going to give you the money. You're just going to play for the Browns.